The web is going absolutely crazy over the bombshell that Zoe Kravitz just dropped on Jason Momoa. A single terrifying statement, "He is an evil piece of shit," turned what had begun as an informal, humorous interview into something much darker. She appeared to be joking for a second, but by then, the internet had already made up its mind. After being removed from its original context, the clip quickly went viral, sparking a flurry of discussion. Was the hero of the golden age, Jason Momoa, perhaps concealing a shadowy side? Many were taken aback. Even after his breakup with Lisa Bonet, this man remained completely committed to his family. Now, though, his intimate relationship with Zoe Kravitz was being scrutinized. Was her intention clear? Or was this simply another instance of people going crazy on the internet? Everyone would be shocked by the truth. An enduring personality in the entertainment industry. Until they discover they were wrong, everyone thinks they know what's true. After reading a headline, people see the entire picture, which is actually well-manipulated footage. Truthfully, stories, especially those made by the media, rarely provide readers all the information they need. Despite being Zoe Kravitz's stepfather, Jason Momoa was much more to her than that. He wasn't this cold-hearted person who posed as Lisa Bonet's husband and avoided her daughter. In his first moments with Zoe, he embraced her as if she were a blood relative. Despite their many shared experiences and perspectives, society persisted in treating them as though they were completely different. Zoe remembers their first meeting. She was suspicious and apprehensive. Not that she didn't want her mother to be happy, she just wanted her to be happy. But she had seen partnerships rise and fall. Being overly involved was something she was aware of. Then Jason showed up. Bustling, colorful, and highly noticeable. Beyond being Lisa's new husband, he was more. He had an innate ability. Also, much to her astonishment, he wasn't trying to win Zoe over. He was unique. The first time he brought her to the shore is fresh in her mind. She was nervous and unsure of herself. Neither surfing nor being forced to spend time with other people were activities that she particularly enjoyed. On the other hand, Jason had a way of making everything appear effortless. No one pushed her. He did little more than wait, holding his board. He shrugged, saying it wasn't necessary. She proceeded to jump into the lake, despite rolling her eyes. Whenever she stayed on the board for much than a few seconds, Jason would yell and whoop, and she can still feel the waves beneath her. She can also hear his voice directing her. Nothing about surfing was relevant. Something more substantial was involved. Rest certain, he was present not as a replacement for her father or out of obligation, but simply because he cared, and he never lost sight of that. Whether it was an audition, a red carpet, or an interview, Jason was always off to the side. When she triumphed, she'd grin like a jubilant fan, and when she fell, she'd be there to offer encouragement. He was more than just pretending to be a supportive stepfather, he was one. On the other hand, the outside world doesn't necessarily see reality. Public perception is a reflection of public desire. The public assumed that Jason and Zoe's romance had come to an end with their marriage following Jason's breakup from Lisa. They had probably drifted apart since they were less often seen together. No one cared that Zoe was an independent woman with her own life and career. It made little difference that they could prove their relationship without going public with it. Each of the major news outlets reported the events in their own way. Was Jason Momoa free to move on after breaking up with Zoe Kravitz? The icy romance between Jason Momoa and Zoe Kravitz after Lisa Bonet's breakup, as seen from the inside. A lot of people probably thought Jason had moved on and Zoe had quietly cut off all communication. Nobody wanted to face the reality that family isn't something that simply goes away when a marriage doesn't work. The most ridiculous part was that many actually believed Zoe would accuse Jason Momoa of being evil. She remembers seeing the video gain a lot of views. Changed into a massive entity after being warped. She merely chuckled when she stated that She was expressing herself clearly. People looking for controversy, nevertheless, didn't take it well. Somehow, everyone seemed to know the truth, even if they had never seen Jason or seen the small but profound ways he had affected her life. On the other hand, Zoe knew the truth. He had educated her about Hollywood during their late-night conversations, which she remembered. When interacting with famous people, she claimed he kept checking in on her even while they weren't filming. She thought back on how Jason had always been there for her, no matter what, and no headline could ever change that, no matter what the world thought. Because there was no ambiguity about the reality. Jason Momoa's #1 concern was and always has been his family, a life that is being watched. For as long as she can remember, Zoe Kravitz has been a public figure. It wasn't a choice or an attempt to get their attention. It was simply her parents' nature. From the moment she entered this planet, everyone could observe her every move. Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz had a kid together. It started early. The covers of the magazines made assumptions about her future, including whether she would continue her father's creative career or strike out on her own, and they compared her to her mother as if she were a see-through experiment. Her personal life, career decisions, and personal style are all being scrutinized by critics. Even though she made every effort to live her life according to her own standards, she was never truly Zoe. She has a family history of being a daughter. Jason then showed up. Their romance has been adored by everyone for a long time. She was Jason's, the fun-loving, expensive stepfather kid, and she was cool and gifted by nature. The audience was captivated by that dynamic. People loved seeing them together at premieres, family gatherings, and red carpet events. By my baby girl, Jason meant it with all due pride. But that love wasn't without its condition. As soon as it happened, everything would change. When Jason and Lisa announced their divorce, the world saw Zoe's losses as affecting more than just her dad. The carefully crafted narrative surrounding their relationship had also slipped her mind. Out of nowhere, every interaction, or lack thereof, became an entirely different narrative. Had Zoe Kravitz parted ways with Jason Momoa? Feeling lonely? Zoe and Jason have been missing in action for months. The impact of Lisa Bonet's divorce on the mother-daughter relationship, despite her best efforts, the child's link with her mother was damaged. It made little difference that their relationship had evolved and that he remained a part of her life, even though they no longer posed for photos together. If true stories were lacking, people would invent their own. At first, she paid it no mind. She had figured out how to stay away from the media machine a long time ago. Give them a chance to talk and assume. On the other hand, fans were just as complicit as the tabloids. People she didn't know flocked to social media to demand answers, as if she owed them. Do you not have any updates regarding Jason? Were you not present at the premiere of his film? Were you too involved in something? People who were familiar with her chose not to inquire. They originated from her devotees, who, having access to her life, felt entitled to the truth. When others couldn't provide answers, they devised their own. No one was worse than the paparazzi. They had always been interested in her, but after the divorce, their interest in her increased dramatically. Something had to have gone wrong, and they were on the lookout for any sign that they might use to promote a new scandal. Every time she stepped outside, cameras were ready. By asking her leading questions, they were hoping she would make a mistake. Zoe, is communication with Jason ongoing? Were things uncomfortable because of the divorce? Do you feel any relief now that he is out of your life? How dare it? As if Jason were an inconvenience, as if their bond had been fragile and transient. Naturally, there was the interview, which poked fun at Jason's lavish side. She had rolled her eyes, laughed uncontrollably, and spoke the words that would jolt the entire city into action. Nonetheless, the press was unusual. Within hours, the remark had gone from being funny to offensive and splashed over headlines. Chaos ensued the next morning. There was no relevance to the interviewer's